ACL surgery sucks for all the reasons people talk about. Just it takes a while, hurts like hell. But I think the part that I didn't expect was just how it's just not linear. Like it's not a straight line, the healing process. It's totally just you crash down, you move back up, and it's like 1 week you feel great, and the next week you're just in so much pain. And it's just so demoralizing sometimes when you feel like you're making progress, and then all of a sudden you're back to where you were like 2 or 3 weeks ago. And like early on, I was like sitting down, I just pulled my hamstring out of nowhere just by flexing it. And it's like stuff like that. It's just so demoralizing. You don't know if it's like something more serious or like what it is, and you've never been through this process. Other people haven't. No one else you know has been through the process. And people you talk to who have, they all give you something like some different advice. And it's kind of just a mess. And it's just hard, man. And like you really do feel like you're doing better and like you're getting there. I'm only 7 weeks in, so I'm sure it's only gonna get worse, but in terms of like it not being linear. But it's like one day you can do squats, next day you can't. Next day your knee's in so much pain. And it's like one day you're walking, you feel like you can jump pain-free, and the next day you feel like you're awful. I think I got really good advice from someone who had torn their ACL, saying judge it week to week, not day to day. And that's probably the best advice I've gotten throughout the entire process. Just seeing like every Monday, how do you feel compared to last Monday? And generally you will be better than the Monday before. Even if it is a bad day, you should have improved enough over that week. But once you start gauging yourself day to day, it's really hard. And it's just getting a little bit of progress, it's tough because it's like tempting, because you want to go, you're on the bike and like you feel good, and you want to, push the gear up 2 more times and start hauling for another like 10 minutes, 20 minutes. But if you do that, you're just going to set yourself back like 3 days. So that's like a different kind of discipline that I've never really had to go through, or people who haven't been hurt I've had to go through. So it's just like a different style of training, a different style of focus, and different things you need to focus on, and just different barriers than I expected. Like I obviously expected the pain, all of those things, but you never really, like everyone says it's hard mentally, but you kind of expect it to be hard mentally in terms of like being inside all the time and not like being able to do anything, which is, of course it is, like that's just the biggest thing. But what you don't expect is like the feeling constrained mentally, like obviously constrained, but the feeling constrained where you feel like you can do more, but you're not supposed to. That's when it's hard. And for me, I have a meniscus tear too, so that kind of complicates things, because I think with like just ACL, you can kind of just go by feel. Like if you're in pain, like you can kind of just ease up, and that's probably the smart thing to do, but you're not gonna really mess up your ACL more unless you seriously like pivot on it. But with the meniscus, it seems like you can really mess it up just by doing like too much work on it or minor tweaks, because for me it's just like stitches into it. It's not like a full repair, so I can mess up those stitches. So that's another just level of constraints that you don't expect. And then you're in pain and you're like, okay, is it my ACL, is it my meniscus? So it's just a whole just mental battle that you really don't expect going into it. And anyone that's going through any sort of injury or of like significance knows how hard that can be. So that's the biggest thing that I didn't expect going into it. But I also didn't expect how good I'd feel, but how little I could do. I'm 7 weeks in it, even though I've said like it's hard sometimes, that like, it hurts certain days, other days. But today I was playing wall, and like it feels like I can just plant off the side of it and I'd be good. And obviously I know I can't, but that's like worrisome. You take the brace off and you plant once, and you're back to square one. You're 4 months back again, whatever it is. And that's just an awful thing to even think about. So it's just not an easy process, and I'm trying to navigate the entire thing. But today was good in terms of work. I got a lot of long passes in, and I got some over the shoulder work in as kind of the constraint of the day, which was good to work on. But just chipping away day by day.